somebody showed me the statistics in our company that over the course of my career, going back to opening Union Square Cafe in 1985, tipped employees were now making 350% of what they were making when I first started. And non-tipped employees, because it's against the law in New York to share tips between the dining room and the kitchen, non-tipped employees had gone up 20% in that same time. And so I say we're employee first, but in fact, the disparity between what cooks were able to make and waiters and bartenders were able to make had just grown and grown, because every time you raise prices on the menu, the tipped employee gets an automatic raise because you're still tipping 20% times a bigger number, yeah. And the other guys are just staying still. And you look at a city like New York where you can't afford to live here anymore, and I don't want to be running an organization where half the people are going to fall below the poverty line, some of whom spent their life savings going to culinary school. It just felt completely wrong. So I said, all right, stop it. I can blame the tipping system all I want, or we can actually reject it. And it's dangerous and scary to go first, no matter what problem you're trying to solve. Whether there's great restaurants in New York, many of whom are household names, that went first picking a neighborhood and made the neighborhood. It's scary to do that. It's scary to go first with a new policy. It's scary to go first when you make an investment in a not-for-profit that others had not seen, because you care deeply about those dollars. But when you go first and you made the right bet, and others tell you it won't work, it can't work, if you know in your heart that you're doing it for the right reason, then it's worth solving the problem. It's worth figuring it out. And we are figuring it out. We're figuring out the math. We're now 3 years into it. Started at the Modern. We have one restaurant to go at this point, which is Blue Smoke. And what we've learned is that the complication is, in order to do all the things we're trying to do to professionalize the business, pay cooks more money, make sure that our formerly tipped employees aren't taking a big pay cut, add in parental leave, add in 401k, have full health insurance. The way you get a raise in a tip restaurant, many of you may know this, is you stay there longer than everybody else, which means you earn the Friday and Saturday night shifts. And so now that may be hard for you because you're a single parent and you got to work Friday and Saturday. In a no tipping model, you can work any night you want and make the same money because it's based on merit. But imagine how hard it is if you had put in 5 or 6 or 10 years at a restaurant, and this guy comes along with his philosophy and says, guess what? Now we're going to pay people based on merit, not based on tips. And that's a hard thing. So my hat goes off to our team members for being willing to take this ride on behalf of being part of a team that's really trying to do the right thing the right way.